right, well, on Wednesday, the people at Apple unveiled their newest products, including the iPhone 5. Will the larger screen and unique new features be worth the investment? Our tech expert, Dan Thompson, is here to weigh in on all of this. Such a big day in the tech world.
Oh, I know.
People get so hyped about this. I say it every time you're here. They are marketing geniuses over at Apple.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was reading some of the feeds, you know, as all the bloggers are there at the conference and they're just kind of writing and they have people naturally interacting with them. And more than one person said, does anybody else feel like it's Christmas morning and they're about to make something that just, you know what I mean? It's that kind of feeling. They are definitely experts at just generating hype, and people are just excited about their devices.
So what are the biggest changes about the iPhone 5?
Well, the big thing in my mind is, number one, it gets 4G. So that was a big thing that everybody was disappointed about with the iPhone 4S. Now we have 4G speeds. The interesting little side note is they did spend a lot of time when the 4S came out saying that, well, you don't need 4G because our 3G is as fast as their 4G. And of course, now that they have 4G, they were going on and on about how fast it was. So that was entertaining for me. The other thing is it's 18% thinner. It's 20% lighter. Its processors are twice as fast now, and then of course we have an extra ½ inch of screen space. So there were lots of nice little upgrades to it, and it was generally, like, if you listen to the conversation, they spent a lot of time talking about the manufacturing process and just the fit and finish of the device itself. It really seems like they're trying to push the idea of that they've taken this device and are just polishing it until it's perfect. Really kind of got the sense that they wanted you to think about it like you're buying a Porsche and not a Camry.
You know, all of these changes are nice, but does it really make it a better investment than the iPhone 4S or 4 that people have now?
Well, I'm kind of a bad person to ask about that because my wife would tell you that I'm a little bit cheap when it comes to things like this. But now that the iPhone 5 has come out, the 4 is going to, or the 4S, excuse me, is going to be $99. The 4 is going to be free. So if you don't have an iPhone at all, I mean, the 4 sounds pretty nice if it's free, right? But for those of us who are tech geeks and are probably going to be looking at upgrades, it's a beautiful phone. A lot of the features didn't get upgraded that we were maybe hoping for. A lot of people were saying they were hoping for a little bit better camera, although they did do some tweaks to the camera, so you should be able to get nicer images. It doesn't have a higher megapixel count to it. Just some other things that were kind of left off, but I still think it's going to be a wonderful device. If you don't have an iPhone at all and you just want the latest and greatest, it's definitely going to be the one to go for, because now that it has 4G, and if you haven't made an investment in a lot of accessories, because, you know, they've changed the plug on it now, you know, this is going to be a great one to jump into.
Is it a different plug or is it in a different spot, or both?
It's a different plug. It's still on the bottom, but they've shrunk it. It's 80% smaller. They were loving the percent thing yesterday. It was kind of entertaining, but it's quite a bit smaller plug. And the reason why, they were talking about how much real estate that old plug took up, and by reducing the size of that plug, it allowed them to do other things. If you look at the kind of specs, what they did was they made a little bit longer battery, which was another conversation they had yesterday. So reducing the size of that plug allowed them to do some other things inside the phone, and overall the whole thing kind of shrunk with the exception of the screen size. So it seemed to fit kind of what they were going for with this device.
So fun.
I know, you're in heaven, you're in heaven. This is going to be good.
I love it.
I'll have one in here as soon as I can get my hands on
it. It is pretty, I will say that.
It is.
Okay, we're going to talk about when it's on sale, what else is in store for Apple coming up over on Mornings with Fox 43. So you stay here
I
now.
will.
Enjoy 10 News Today at its finest. All right, we've got much more still to come after the break.